At 9:30.
You don't need it open. Now this is stupid because it's all pretend anyway.
Here.
So just pretend it's open.
Here, it's fine.
I'd like it. I'd like it closed a little bit.
Here, just a second.
If you're pretending everything else, you can pretend that the door is open. Okay, Everett.
Here.
I'd like to have some peace and quiet now. I spend time. I'm in the thing. I'm on your terms all the time. Just a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
It's not pretend. It's not pretend.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna close it in a moment. Okay, don't try to pull the substance out of it.
I need to work. I'm doing something where I need it quiet.
It will be quiet. So we'll just have to stand out there and wait forever until they figure out how things work around here. More people need to be here and more people need to be prepared. Nope. They came too late. They should have came earlier. So that's their deal. It starts at 9:30 and I made it clear to people. Well, they were late. And so, because they were late, they can't come in. By 9:30, that door is going to be shut. So you all need to be here before 9:30. At 9:30, but minutes before 9:30. I've made a lot of compromises, and I'm pretty dedicated to this Amenten, but I'm not going to keep the door open for certain reasons, because certain people aren't prepared. So, it's your own deal. So, I'm not the one in the wrong. disappointing that things can't work out exactly as they should. There's enough people over here. Unfortunately, not everyone is here, both physically and up there, because some people were not prepared and were not on time enough. And they didn't, take a hint and get in quickly and get to where they were supposed to be, so it's really disappointing that there's some people who are stragglers, who are standing and they're confused and they don't know what to do or where to go, and not everybody's here. This shouldn't be happening. This is an issue. If I had a magic wand, and if I could make this room 10 times bigger, I would. Oh, but that's not realistic. That doesn't exist, does it? So, what can we do so that things can become more effective around here? So that you are all responsible enough to be where you're supposed to be at the time that you're supposed to be in. Quit procrastinating. Quit waiting till the last moment and waiting to come at 9:30, and then certain people are in the room by then, physically, and then you're confused because there's people who are waiting outside who cannot fit in the room, and there's only so much door opening that I can provide. At 9:30, the door is going to be shut, and that's going to be a non-negotiable. This should really have been figured out a lot sooner than it is right now. And it's ridiculous. I don't expect very much of you. But I do expect you to figure things out for yourselves. At 9:30, I'm going to start my meeting. That means that you should come here before I even come in the room prior to that meeting so that you have enough time to figure out who is going to be in here physically and who is going to be up there on the screen. Because it's just unpredictable every single time because there's a lot of people here. And there's only a certain amount of people that can fit in this room. And I'm not going to stand here speaking to everyone sitting up here. And I don't want to make a video. I don't want to do that. I want to do these meetings physically. So, what I would suggest is that next time I give a time for a meeting, I would say about half an hour, maybe even 35 minutes prior to that, you come here and you get yourselves in here. And then you figure out who will actually, maybe 20 minutes. Let's just say 20 minutes. So, the next time I'm going to have a meeting, I would say a good 20 minutes prior to that meeting, all of you come in here. All of you physically. As many people as possible. As many people as possible who can fit in this room physically. For the people that cannot fit in this room, then there's your other option. That should be the second option. This should be the first thing. So people will come in the room the next time. You will see how many people can fit, and then the rest of you will just have to go over to that room and sit on that screen up there watching me. And then, when I come in, and when I'm ready to start my meeting, I can just start and everything can go smoothly and swimmingly, that we don't have to deal with these kind of issues prior to meetings. You know, I do not support people who try to ruin stuff. You know, if you're going to take out the substance of what I'm trying to do, you can pack your bags and leave. I have a plan and I have a vision. And I want things, and I would like things, and need things a certain way. And your job is to fulfill that. Your job is to do what you're supposed to do. Your job is to do that work so that when I come in, I can just start efficiently running the meeting, and all those little details are figured out. It is shocking to me beyond belief why people are having these kind of problems. It is shocking beyond belief that people did not figure it out yet of where they were supposed to be. 9:30 an Amenten meeting doesn't mean that things are barely okay, that people are trying to get where they are, they're figuring out things are barely good enough. It's well, you know what? You know, there's no barely anymore. There's no good enough. There's no somewhat good. There's no halfway here. There's no, it's just okay. It'll do. It's not the best, but it'll work. That's not going to happen anymore. It needs to be how it is supposed to be. It has to be al tuntos. It has to be perfect in that kind of way. Or it has to be sort of a set system. Things have to work out efficiently. When I'm ready to start, where you need to be, you're prepared, I'm good. All those little details are taken care of. I think that your imagination is great, but after a while, there's only so much patience and substance that you have with your imagination. And certain things have to be the way that they have to be. And at one point or another, you have to face the reality of what is going on. And the reality is, people aren't where they're supposed to be. And there are people here, yes, but I'm just making it clear, and I'm just addressing it and being clear that not everyone is where he or she is supposed to be. There's only a couple people present, some people, not a whole ton of people, which is not okay. A couple people confused is fine. You know, that's their deal. But know how your presence and your attendance affects me and affects everyone else and affects the meeting and how smoothly it can run. So, again, 20 minutes prior, all of you come here physically, see who can fit in this room. And then for anyone who can't fit in this room, go to that room and sit on the TV screen and watch it before 9:30 or before whatever time that the meeting begins. That is what should happen. It should be so smooth and everything should work out like that. So I hope I won't have to continue to bring this issue up. And I hope that we won't continue to have these kind of problems. I hope that I can move on. I hope that we can learn from this and become better from this. And do better in the future. So, that's just what I want to say. Now, today, not a whole lot going on. But, you're all here. I made a promise that I would be here. I made a promise I would give today's announcements. There is going to be a club's meeting at 1:30 this afternoon in this room. So for those interested in coming, I will be talking about introduction to the zodiac sign of Pisces. I'll be going through the Pisces qualities, characteristics, and traits, what the energy is about, what the astrological season about. Season is about the house of Pisces, the ruling planet, the element of Pisces astrologically, and the mode, cardinal, fixed, or mutable. It's called a mode in astrology. And so, so I'll be going through the information. There's no reading, there's nothing. That'll be at 1:30. It is open to all of the Amentens. Anyone can come. So, that's that. What else? Well, not too much going on. February 24th is the two cooking videos, a Sarah Moulton video and Lydia Bostanic video. That's due February 28th. Your Global Humanitarian Issue Project pamphlet is due. Remember all of the instructions for that. And I just want to get, it'll be hard for me to see people through the screen. So I hope that you're progressing on that and working diligently and continuing to plug along on getting that done. So that's due the 28th. Forget about, red fern grows and stuff like that. Just forget it. You can read it on your own if you want to. The more important thing, actually, is that I finished reading it. And I finished reading it. Which is huge. Because that's the intention. And the intention, I'm not going to even explain the reason behind that. I have decided to not worry about it with all the things going on and with all that you're doing and stuff. I just forget it. We're not reading those kind of books. It's just work out the things. So, don't worry about it. No assignments, no ratings, no writing responses, no quizzes, no nothing. With that. What else? Will then be Jupiter Amenten is putting on an Amenten a concert. It is a winter concert with winter music, choral music. It will be the last day of February. It'll be I think she said the 6th of March. at 7 o'clock p.m. that concert will be. She's decided to push the date a little bit further, so if you're interested, it is at her Amenten. You can go there and you can enjoy that experience. I'm sure the music will be great and all of what it is. So it's winter music. It is a variety of songs, tunes that deal with winter, basically. Not, Christmas songs, but just, and not necessarily astrological, but more so just in general. Winter, and also winter in different cultures. Certain traditions that correspond to the season of winter. The songs about the weather, and sort of the metaphorical and emotional meaning of winter. So, if you're interested, you can go there, because there is an option for you if you want to do that. So, that I might mention that. But, alright, now, this is where the rubber begins to hit the road in terms of what I used to do for Amenten meetings. It wasn't just me giving announcements. I invited you here because I did some things with you, so I want to incorporate that again. So there's certain ways of how things are going to work, and I am going to make those ways really clear. And we're going to see what we can do with the stuff available in the room. What I want to do, I have no idea why that's on. What I want to do in terms of activities, games, dances, readings, and stuff. So I'll sort of bring those kind of things into the mix here as well. So I'll give my announcements, and if there's extra time, and if I feel like it, we can do something fun and neat. And today, what I had in mind is something interesting. And I don't want to make this too long. I really don't want to make this too long. And it is really, oh my gosh, I'm calling the kettle black. When it comes to announcements in future, I may give less assignments, but I may bring up, just, acknowledge this person, that person. I don't want it to be so that there's so much going on. And I don't want to make you do so many things. However, I also know that I have certain kind of plans and this. So let me know if it's too much for you, too overwhelming of assignments and stuff you have to do. Now, this is something that I would like to, and actually, maybe what I will do is with these Amenten meetings in future, I will try to do more stuff in the actual meeting. More geared towards some of the more trivial stuff. And see how that's going to go. Meaning if I say we might see an episode of a cooking show or watch an astrological horoscope or something like that. Read something, do something, and then you won't have as many assignments. And there'll be more in the Amenten meetings, because that's what it used to be. Because I used to be open and engaged and have stuff going on and do more, and I want to do that again. I want to do that again. It is important that in the future, because these meetings may be longer, that hopefully it won't be me standing up here and talking the whole time. But because I'm thinking of extending these meetings, having partially the announcements, partially the other, both filmed, but you don't have to watch the whole meeting. You can just watch the announcements for the week and then you're good. That's all that you need to watch, because that's the information for the week. I do really highly recommend that you watch both your daily announcements and the weekly announcements. Actually, let me switch that. This is gonna sound dictatorial, and I'm gonna be blunt, but I actually require you to go back and watch those weekly announcements, because that's where stuff gets really important. The daily announcements, there's important stuff there, but your weekly outline, when it, especially when it comes to assignments of when this is due and that due. So it's not short notice and you find out that day on the daily announcements that you have an assignment that's due a certain day. Say very short from that now, and it's overwhelming and it's all of a sudden, so that the daily announcements can act as a reinforcer, can act as, okay, well, this is going on this day, and then the weekly announcements, well, this is going on for the week. So it gives you both, but I'll have a list, I'll have an agenda like I used to do of stuff that we can do for that particular meeting, or videos we can watch, activities that we can do. I'll go through my announcements at the beginning, and then we'll get into some stuff or vice versa. And hopefully I get through everything on my list, but there won't be as many assignments, as many things that you will need to do, and it'll be less so that I am speaking and explaining stuff less, and we're doing more stuff in the meeting, so that it doesn't end up being assignments that I would like you to do, because it's just unfair to make you do stuff like that. Some of the stuff that I have made you do, and I'm willing to say that for the week and some of your assignments, I think it's a little bit unfair for me to make you do certain things, so I'm going to try to avoid that and change that in the future. So meaning you won't have to watch this random video or read this random article, something like that. Just depends on what it is. We will do more of that in the Amenten meeting. Just like when you're in a class, sometimes you do kind of light stuff. Sometimes you do kind of, informal stuff when you're in a class setting. So it's kind of like that. So that, certain videos and certain things we will do in this meeting, as opposed to it being an assignment. I want to say that again. The meetings will be longer, but again, so anyway. It'll be less stress on you, less stress on me trying to explain stuff and drill in these certain assignments that you need to get done. So, yeah. It's more fun because it's not standing up here and talking the whole time. We're also doing something and you're doing something. We're watching a video, doing something else to add that variation in there, to try to bring new stuff into the meetings. So that's what I'm going to do now. Because of the extended length of the meetings in future, you will need to prioritize your work and when you're going to get that done. And I'm going to see if I can devote that time to that meeting. See if before a meeting I can get some work done. So that I feel better. I don't feel like I'm just speaking this and I feel the Saturn pole. It's a waste of my time. I should be doing more productive things. Which is what I don't want to do. So it is kind of a reward for me and a reward for you. It depends upon when you get your work done, but know that you are required to attend the meetings and to stay for the whole portion of the meeting, for the entirety, if that is even a word, the entire time you're required to be here and be present and be engaged and participating. So that means that you will get your work done prior to that, outside of that, and schedule that time. The last thing I want to do is take that time away from you. The last thing I want to do is inconvenience you. The last thing I want to do is do all that. So it's a balance between me taking advantage and doing fun stuff and engaging with you, but then also allowing you the time to get what you need done in your work, family, other responsibilities and stuff, and what you have going on in your lives. That's important that things are balanced with the Amenten classes, work, other stuff that you have going on in your lives. So yeah, so that's why. Well, anyway, I've explained that to you already. But point being, there is this article, and stuff in my throat. Work time, there